Hey guys, in today's video I want to show you how to create different split tests for landing pages on Shopify. This can be whether or not you're testing an entirely new landing page or you're testing modifications and optimizations to an existing landing page. So in both scenarios you'll be able to use these techniques. First thing you need to know, the app that I'm using here is called Intelligems. I'm currently not affiliated with them in any way. I might be in the future, I don't know, but as of right now I'm just recommending them because it's what we use. Intelligems is pretty cheap. I can probably pull up the app page over here. You guys can come to the website, you can get a free trial on Shopify, and then you can upgrade if you do want to use it moving forwards. I'm going to show you guys how to run tests on Intelligence specifically. There are other softwares which will be quite similar. However, just for your information, we're using Intelligence specifically. Now, once you have Intelligence set up, you'll just need to click that button that says try on Shopify. You'll download the app on your Shopify store. I presume all of you know how to do that, so you don't need me to tell you how. And then you're going to come into your dashboard over here. Now inside of the dashboard, you'll notice that we have this button that says create test. So I'm going to click on create test, and then I have a number of different types of tests here. Now, you have two categories, content tests and profit tests. I usually would just focus this on content tests. Technically speaking, you can do a profit test through a content test. Having said that, profit tests can get a little bit more confusing. You also need to have really good numbers in terms of what your COGS are and things like that, your cost of goods sold, and so on. And so I'm going to ignore all of this for now because, to be honest with you, you don't really need it, I don't think. Like, it's a nice to have for a more advanced tester, but generally speaking, content test is more than enough for what we need right now. Now, inside of content tests, you have four different types of tests that you can run. The test that I think is going to work the best most of the time is either going to be a template test or a theme test. Now, what that means is on Shopify, obviously you have your different themes. You inside of your theme library, you can switch between different themes inside of that library. So if you have landing page A on theme 1, you can pit that against landing page B, which will be on theme 2. Now, if you have both templates, both landing pages inside of one Shopify theme, then you can use this template version. That would mean that the test will take place on the same theme, but it will swap 50% of the traffic to one template, 50% to the other. So those are the main ones that you're probably going to want to pay attention to. Split URL is a possibility as well. If let's say, for example, you've got all the templates live, like you've got two different templates live on your Shopify store, and each has a URL, so it would be like your Shopify domain name.com/pages/landing page 1 or landing page 2. You might have those live, in which case, if they're already live, you can just set up 50% of traffic to one, 50% to the other, and you just specify which URL is A and which URL is B. Now, you also have the on-site edit, which is actually quite useful. And this is more along the lines of, it works in a very similar way to split URL or template, so it's kind of all in the same theme. But the way that Intelligems does this is it actually allows you to edit the template through their page editor yourself. It's not perfect, so don't expect to be able to do anything like crazy with it. You're not going to like redesign a brand new page in here. But if you're just doing something quick, like changing the headline or the title, then this can work really well for you. So with that said, I'm going to click on theme for now. And the reason why is because I think it's the simplest one to grasp. Then I'm going to hit create. And inside of here, so this is a dummy account. It's not on a paid plan. So that's why this prompt is coming up. Obviously, if you guys are on a paid plan or a free trial, you'll just be able to launch the test. So just for your information, this test won't launch, but I'm just showing you guys how to set it up. So what we have here is the test groups, and the test groups typically will have the control group and then what is by default in Intelligems called new group 1. New group 1 can be renamed to anything that we want, so and also control group can. So if I want, I could say this would be landing page A, and this one could be landing page B. So that allows me to label the different templates that I'm running here, the different tests, and it makes it easier for me to keep track of the results that I'm getting. Now, important caveat here, you can adjust this slider to give more or less traffic to either template. So if let's say I have a new page that I want to launch, but I have a very low confidence in it, like I think that it might produce an uplift in conversions and sales, but it probably won't, then maybe what you don't want to do is just waste a lot of traffic going towards it. So I can drag the slider all the way here, and I can only give 10% of traffic to landing page B. So that means on any given day, 90% of my traffic is still going to my main landing page that I know is doing really well. But I'm also seeing some data come through on landing page B just to see if we start to get any good results there as well. Now, what you can do as well, if I drag this back to 50/50, is you can also add in additional variations. So we have landing page A, which is your control, landing page B, which is a new one. What you can do is also add in landing page C. If you're getting enough traffic and you want to test multiple things at the same time, I believe you can add as many as 5 inside of Intelligems. Yep. So you can add up to 5. And then obviously the traffic split would be 20-20, 20% each. Now, just for the purpose of making this as simple as possible, I'm going to keep it 50-50, landing page A, landing page B. Now, if we go to next step, what we can do over here in the visual editor is just select 2 different themes. So if I click this, it will give me all of the themes that are available here, and I can pick one at random, save that, and then I can click another theme and I can pick another one at random, save that. Okay, now what you want to do is just quick view each of these in the browser using this button over here, view in browser, just so you can see that it is actually the website that you are wanting to test. So just to make sure you don't make any mistakes there. And then it's pretty simple. We hit next steps. There's no live preview because we need to save the test. And then we can go ahead and launch this if we were on a paid plan. So that launches the test, which is really good. Now, what I want to go through next is just the analytics. So over here, we have a section where we can choose our key metrics and primary metrics, right? Now, what that basically means is when you open up your dashboard, what do you want to be presented first and foremost? And then you'll have some other metrics which you can still view, but they just won't be presented immediately in the dashboard. It doesn't matter what I pick here. I still have access to all the metrics, so I'm not losing access to metrics. It's just what's most important to me. Now, this is going to be personal based on, what you're trying to test, but most of the time, I would usually do conversion rates as my primary metric that I'm looking at. You might also want to do orders and revenue as well, potentially. Revenue per visitor doesn't matter as much to me. Like it's a nice metric to have, but it doesn't matter as much. Profit per visitor is when you need to have your calculations calculated correctly in order for this to work. And sometimes that can get a little bit difficult if you have a big catalog, different types of shipping methods and things like that. And average order value is good, obviously, if you're just trying to measure average order value. Now, you can add additional metrics here. We do get the option to add any of these to the dashboard. Again, you're not losing this data if you don't select this stuff. It just means that when you open up your dashboard, you're not going to see these ones immediately. So for example, if you wanted to see abandoned cart rates, or you wanted to see average units per order or subscription metrics, all that stuff you can add in here as well. And then you have some options in terms of how you want to measure conversions. What I usually do is just leave this one by default selected, count all orders regardless of products in the order. However, what you might want to do is, like, if let's say, for example, you want to just measure conversion rates on a specific product or in a specific collection, then you can click this option, and then you can start to add and remove what types of products you want to track inside of each test or inside of each order. So that's really it. Once that's done, you'll be able to just hit the start button over here, provided you are on a paid plan and you're ready to go live. That's really, like, in less than 10 minutes how you can set up different landing page tests on Shopify. It's dead easy, extremely easy with the Intelligems app. And like I said, you can set up a bunch of different types of tests here as well. Hopefully that was useful for you guys. If you would like us to do this for you, we'll put together 50 different landing pages for your Shopify store, split test them against your current landing pages, and if your sales do not increase, then we will give you all of your money back. There's a link to that offer in the description. Otherwise, wishing you guys all the best, and I'll catch you in the next one.